Hi everybody, Alison Kent with the Home Kitchen, and this is Barb Wild, the Good Wine Gal. We just finished posting our fifth week of our 5-week series on Rosé All May.
Rosé All May.
We've been tasting a few rosés the last month.
We have.
How many do you think we've done?
At least 20. At least. We've written about 17, 18, 19. We've probably tasted
closer
more
to 30.
We've
I think it's
tasted
probably
more
closer
than
to
we
30
have.
rosé wines
Well,
this month.
on the yacht on Thursday.
I mean, rosés on yachts in May.
We live the life, don't
as
we?
people do.
Mm-hmm.
So this was our kind of recap of some of the things that we've talked about. Do you have like a standout favorite?
We should show you.
We should show
So
what we're drinking.
I was very lucky to receive a bottle. Let's see. This is the Clos du Temple from my future husband, Gerard Bertrand, whose 2,000 acres of biodynamic vineyard lie in the south of France. And I've had the distinct pleasure of visiting and can't wait to return. Darn that COVID. Anyway.
Soon, very soon.
So I said to, I had all these bottles in my wine fridge, and I said to Alison, when we finish, this was kind of like a goal.
We made it.
A reward.
And if you go through the 5 weeks, like, it is informative and it is interesting, and I've learned so much. So this is like our reward day.
This is our reward. We've been looking forward to it.
Yes.
And to just sort of give you context, whether you can even find this bottle in the BC market, I have no idea, but it would retail for about $300 a bottle,
So
maybe
we're sipping
$400.
it very slowly.
But the color is just such an elegant kind of jewel, like faux, that copper gold color, so beautiful and so transparent, and this is probably my favorite. So 5 grape varieties, 4 red, 1 white. I wrote a little bit about it in our blog series. I highly recommend you go to the south of France and sip wine when you get the chance, especially rosé.
Sip all the rosés in Provence, for sure. We did a few French ones, mostly BC ones.
And the point of the French ones was, when you find something from Provence, it's really going to be Cinsault and Grenache, which are really the classic grape varieties, which you will find only
One in here. I forgot.
Just
You
double
just did 5
check.
grapes, and I've
Syrah, Grenache, Cinsault, Mourvedre, and Viognier. I think those are the 4 reds and the 1 white. And the Viognier just lifts this. So Viognier is a kind of a perfumed honeysuckle, richer, style of white, and it's just really lovely in this. Anyway, I don't want to take this one apart. I want to just enjoy it the way it is. So
It tastes
how about
amazing.
you? Did you have a favorite?
Tastes amazing. I think that my favorite, out of all the other ones we tasted, was the Clos du Soleil, the rosé. I think that was my favorite.
100%
Because I was also
Malbec.
looking for things. I love Malbec, so that made sense.
Yeah.
And I was looking for things that would pair well with a lot of different food.
Yeah.
And I think that one's good with
It's got
just
such
about
fresh
anything.
acidity, but beautiful aromas. I was telling a few people, I talk a lot, as you know. I was
Mostly
telling
about
a few
wine.
people, I can talk a lot about wine. And they were like, where should I buy this? And I was like, go to Save on Food. Because, and not that I'm, being paid by anyone to do this, but it's the best deal going. You buy 4 bottles of wine, you get 10% off. If you buy a dozen, you get another $1 off a bottle. There is no pricing like that anywhere in the city, and it's all BCBQA wines, which were almost all the wines that we reviewed. We probably had
Most of them.
we probably had 8 or 10 BC wines, and then the rest were we had a US, that Pinot Noir from Ryder Estate. We had the first few provincial styles.
Yep.
Can't even remember their names anymore. Isn't that funny?
If I tried, I could still list
Source?
probably like 20.
Okay.
because I was cataloging them also in my mind, and I was
Alright.
trying to pick like each week my one. I think the first week I had 2 favorites, and all the weeks after that I definitely had like one standout favorite that we tried, and so I'm going to start filling my tiny little fridge with those ones for the summer and fall, winter.
I also think, was there a second favorite? Like, you know, if you're kind of thinking about some of the ones you had, you know.
I liked was it Single Tree that we just had?
Wasn't
I liked
that
that
amazing?
It was really good.
That is Fraser Valley.
That's right.
So we could probably go visit them.
Okay. I'm free that day.
Yeah, that was a lovely style, aromatic and pretty. I also like the Bailey Groman Pinot Noir. That was just a very special aromatic style. And these, what was beautiful, don't you think? Like, okay, so we don't expect everyone to go out and spend $300, but we were shopping in the $20 to $30 price point, and some of these wines just drink so well above their price. It's really quite amazing. So
I think the highest one other than this one was like 35, maybe? Maybe. So
did you like the Source of Joy? That was kind of a
Source of Joy I liked, and surprisingly I liked Miraval. That one. And that was the
that's
first
the
week,
Jolie
right?
Pit.
Yeah.
And
I wasn't going to try it because
first.
it's like, oh, celebrity wine. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's
was good.
so well. For $28, that one just really jumped above the rest. Yeah, I remember
thought it was
that.
quite good.
And I love the packaging. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but packaging is part of it. This is a square bottle.
Square, yes.
It's just, and you know, clever, because when you stand out,
Stands
people
out on
remember.
the shelf.
Yeah.
Yep, there was a few that I have been buying over the years too that I realized in the tasting of a big variety that I actually don't really like them. And it was surprising because I bought them many times, but then when I started trying some other ones, or maybe some better ones, or maybe some better suited ones for food, I was starting to change my mind all over the place.
Should we brag a little bit about the yacht tasting?
People are going to hate us now.
So
You guys just sit around drinking wine, hanging out on yachts.
we work very hard, let me tell you. But we were doing a food pairing with about 20 styles of wine. And what I really liked about the Orofino Cab Franc Rosé was that it was quite malleable. It went with quite a few of the appies that we were testing.
It was. Mention the boat chef
Graham.
Pacific
Yacht
Yachting.
Charters,
Yacht Charters.
down at the foot of where Lift is, down at the foot of the Westin Bayshore. With COVID restrictions shifting, it looks like we may be going out sailing sometime soon with a small group. So if you want to come with us, please.
And the food was amazing, and the chef
my
had done a
gosh.
really good job of these boxes with food and stuff. And it was interesting because with the reds, it was like, well, that red absolutely goes with that dish, or with the whites, it was like that white absolutely goes with that dish. But with the rosés, it was like all of them go with all the dishes. Like it was just so versatile, and that is, I guess, a signature of rosé, is that it's just extremely versatile.
Yeah. It's actually a great surf and turf wine if you think about it, which is again this malleable quality of rosé, in that have a rosé with good acidity, but you could also have it with prawns or scallops on your steak. So, and you know that we're having spot prawns tonight.
We're having spot prawns.
It's like, yes!
I just got back from Seafood City. We are having spot prawns. We're having oysters. We're having I picked up some morels and some fiddleheads too, so we'll see. I don't actually know what all I'm cooking yet, and dinner starts in 2 hours? So I guess I better figure it out. I'll figure it out.
But anything that you think you kind of was an aha moment for you with the rosé stories?
I think that I just learned so much in this last 5 weeks, and I thank you so much for letting me do this journey with you. But I think that there was a few times where we opened the bottle and we were sniffing it and smelling it right away. And I learned that you should absolutely wait half an hour, because it changes completely in that half an hour. And I think you were mentioning that often at the top they put a gas in to keep it
It can be dissolved sulfur dioxide.
So
or
you're getting a lot of
something.
that when you first open it. You're not necessarily getting the wine right away. So a lot of them, when we waited a bit, the aromas that came off of it were so different within that half-hour span. So that was big. And then tasting things with food. Because there was a few, and it was like, oh, this is lovely. But then when you have it with food, it was almost
Totally
lost.
changes.
It was gone.
Yes, some of them did
Or
disappear. Yeah.
Other ones, you know, they're too strong to maybe just sip. So you do want it with food. And
Yeah.
it was, it's been eye-opening.
Did you like the Vino lock on the Gerard Bertrand Côte de Roses? Did you like that idea, or do you think that's just a bit of a...
Well,
It's a bit of a frou-frou.
yeah, but it's cute. Like we're saying, you got to stand out on the shelf, right? And I think it makes it stand out on the shelf. I love the bottom of the bottle. It's a rose. It's like in the glass. And I love that the bottle is just so beautiful and slender with the rose at the bottom that you could keep it as a vase.
And the Vino lock, so we were talking today in our story that is now posted, is that there's really kind of three closures that we look at when we look at wine. And with rosé, a lot of them are really screw top. However, this one was not. This wine has a bit of oak, 6 months, so there's just this nice little toasty note on it that's so well integrated. It just complements. It doesn't stand out, right?
Because since we opened it too.
But for example, the Côte de Roses has this Vino lock, so it is a glass stopper that sits on top. So if you were confused and you took your corkscrew and kind of,
you wouldn't get far.
You wouldn't get far. And not only that, it's a totally different motion. Like you have to kind of take the blade and put it in here and kind of, pry it. Pry it open. And not a great stopper really, but it gives the bottle height on the shelf. It makes the bottle look a little longer. So it's really
elegant.
marketing.
It's very
It
elegant.
is elegant. Yeah, it is.
But like you mentioned, you're paying an extra $1 just for that stopper.
Who else uses Culmina? They have a beautiful rosé. They use the Vino lock. That's probably the first time I saw a Canadian producer using that. I was like super impressed because, of course, I'm a big fan. Don Triggs and Elaine Triggs.
Well, and it works for rosé because I think one thing you said that I learned was that you don't necessarily age rosé.
No.
So you don't need a cork.
No.
You don't need it to breathe over the years and whatever.
And even
rosés are pretty much a right away kind of.
Well, I think originally it was kind of a coiffer. And what do they call that? Glou in France. If it's glou wine, it's just kind of glug, like drink it now. and but there are rosé styles, and we talked a little bit about that in one of our stories about Tavel. Where that whole appellation is dedicated to, oh my gosh, she surprised me. She went out and found one. That is amazing. Colors deeper. These are big styles. They can age a bit. So we're very lucky. Oh my goodness.
The tasting
Thank
continues.
You. Oh yes.
It's
yes,
not
that's
ending.
So exciting. So in this appellation, it is only rosé that they export and that they market, and that is their specialty, if you will.
Well, once I figure out what I am cooking for dinner, you can do all the pairings and.
I'll be like sipping with every dish. Wait, let me taste that.
I just gotta taste it one more time.
All right. Well, listen. I'm so pleased that we got to do that together. It was so much fun. Really, it was so much fun. Yeah.
I learned so much, and I hope everybody has a chance to go back through the 5 different posts because each one, like, there were so many facts and interesting things about rosés in general before you even got to the ones that we were tasting.
Yeah.
So it's basically now an encyclopedia of rosé.
We're going to publish a book on rosé.
Yeah.
Rosé, and it's not Rosé All May. It's going to be like
Rosé Beyond May.
Rosé en hiver. In the winter. Rosé all day. Every day.
Every day.
Maybe it's 365 days of rosé.
We'll think of something, and it'll be grand. Well, thanks again. Thank you.
All right.
And cheers.
Cheers to
and
you.
This is beautiful.
This is
if
fantastic.
You find it,
come over. We will share. We'll pour you a glass. Anyway, from our
some
garden
of these
to
people
yours.
actually know where I live.
From our garden to yours. Thank you for tuning in.
Cheers.
Happy Saturday. Bye, everybody.
Bye.